Hi friends, hi everyone. I hope you're all fine. Happy to be with you all once more again. Such a beautiful time of the year, such a time to be alive, everyone. So how are you preparing to cross over? What is crossover? Before I share this, I want to let us know what this crossover really means. You know, many times we talk about crossing over without having a full understanding of what crossover really means. When you're crossing over, as the name implies, cross over. This is a mystical thing, but most of the time we'll take it literally. That's why we don't move in life, most especially in our spiritual life. Crossing over is more of a spiritual thing than a physical thing. If you didn't cross over spiritually, the physical crossover have little or no significance. Crossing over can never happen until there is a death. I say it again. There will be no crossing over until a death occurs. Where are you crossing over to? You are crossing over to the new life, to the land of promise, to the Canaan land that the Father have prepared for you. That's where you're crossing over to. And for you to go there, there must be a death. What will die? Your human nature must die. Your five senses must die for you to be able to cross over. Nobody crosses over with their physical nature, because the things of the spirit, they don't make sense to the physical man, to the carnal man. That's why your physical nature needs to die before you cross over. If you have been crossing over with your physical body still alive, that means you have not known what you are doing. You're just performing what I call religion, the same thing Jesus called tradition. What Jesus called tradition is what is called religion today. They are the same thing. So, to cut long story short, even in the Bible, we see how Jesus was crucified on the cross. This is a mystical representation of how life happens. Before the Christ goes into the kingdom, before he rises to the Father, there must be a crucifixion of the physical body, of the five senses. The five senses can never meet with the Father, just like the five foolish virgins. This includes your taste, your sense of taste, your feeling, what you see, what you hear, your touch, everything. They need to die. If they don't die, you cannot arise to meet the Father. It is the physical senses that always let you know that when the storm arises, who tells you about the storm? It is the physical body. It is the five senses that shows you, look, there is a storm. You hear it or you hear it in your ear. There is a war at the gate. All these things happen, but one thing is for sure. Whenever you are in a storm, you have to know one thing. The Master is always there with you. But how can you know? You cannot know because your senses are still alive. Until they die, you cannot cross over to touch the Master. You must surrender all. You must say, Father, I can't do this on my own, because you can't stop the storm on your own. The only thing that can stop the storm is the Father, which lives in you. And you cannot touch him. According to the book of Hebrew, it said, The Holy of Holies cannot be established if the physical body still existing. It must die. In my subsequent video, I will be sharing with us what it really means to go to the kingdom of God. Say you will die before you go to the kingdom of God. It's not a physical death. So right now, what have you prepared to kill from your life so you can go into the kingdom? So you can go into the promised land, because there must be a death. You must kill it. It's an instruction. If you don't kill it, you will never, your kingdom will never be established. The same thing happened when the children of Israel, after going through the wilderness for 40 years, the last stage of their purpose for them to go into the promised land was to kill the Jebusite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, all the ites, all those enemies. They need to be killed. That's instruction from God. This thing has nothing to do with the physical human. You're not killing anybody. These things are your five senses, the senses that make you to be scared. Those giants that stand on the way, you must kill them. If you don't kill them, you can never go into that land that flows with milk and honey. That is what happens in the life of a man. For you to go in, the same thing happened in the life of somebody like Saul. Saul, God blessed this young man and promised him that his kingdom will be established forever. He gave him an instruction. He said, go and kill all the Amorites. He said, kill everything. But the young man went to war. He didn't kill everything. Because of his ego and his pride, and because he listened to his friends, like what I said, the senses, what you hear, he reserved the king for himself. He said he wants to use it for a sacrifice. But that's not the instruction. He said you must kill everything. Those things are the things that hinder you from entering the kingdom. But the ego, he wants to show the king that, yes, I've captured you, I'm stronger than you, I want to show you. He just wants to show off his power. But that was what made God angry with him. God said, for this, the kingdom have been taken away from you. That was when he started losing. David was anointed to be a king in his stead. So what am I trying to tell you? Crossing over is more of a spiritual thing, more than a physical thing. You must understand this. When there is no death, there can never be any crossover. The Christ must arise when there is a death in you. The five senses does not believe in God. It does not trust God. When the disciples and the Christ were in the boat, they were with their five senses. When the storm came, they started being afraid. But while they were in the boat, the master was there with them. But because they don't understand, they were operating in their intellect. They start being scared. Until a time, after doing what they can do, they didn't do anything, then they surrendered. Then I went to the master and said, Master, you are here and will perish. It takes surrender before you can touch the master. If you don't surrender, if you think you can do it on your own, the master will just be there sleeping. And if you don't touch him, you will drown. You must go. You must acknowledge that he is there. You must know that that storm didn't come to stop you. It comes for you to surrender to the master, because nobody can stop the storm. There are things that happen in life that you cannot stop. It doesn't matter who you are. You can't stop it. It takes only the Lamb to stop it. Even in the Revelation, the book of Revelation, say, no man in heaven, on earth, or under the earth was able to lose the six. Only the Lamb. There are things you can't do on your own. You need to surrender to the master. When you arise, when you kill all the five senses, when you kill that jealous, when you kill that envy, when you kill that hatred, when you kill that revenge, malice, ego, kill everything, just become like a baby. That's why Christ said, if you're not like a baby, you can't enter the kingdom. Babies don't keep malice, they don't keep grudge, they just live freely. They don't see the storm, they always believe their father will take care. That's how baby, it doesn't matter how the world wants you to believe it. That is how it should be. Your father takes care of you. No matter the storm that is raging, he is aware, he sees. All he wants you to do is to surrender, acknowledge his presence, acknowledge him and say, Father, you're here. He's just like father and a son. Just touch him. Hey, Father, look at the storm. All you do is just arise and say, peace be still. Peace be still. Because you can't stop the storm. No man on earth, heaven, under the earth can stop it. It takes only the Lamb. And the Lamb is within you. You must surrender totally for him to arise. You must decrease totally for him to arise. How can you do that? Have faith in him. Let your five senses die. Stop thinking that anything you are doing it by your own strength. You don't have strength. Without him, you can do nothing. Even Jesus himself said, without the Father in me, I can't do nothing. Jesus said it. So how can you yourself think that you can do anything without the Father? So, this is what I want to share with us about this crossover. I hope this makes sense to us. Let that envy, everything in your heart, let them die, because those things are caused by the five senses. Because if you didn't see, if you didn't hear all those things, fear comes by hearing. What you hear or what you see, start being afraid. And the fearful will go to hellfire. That's what is written in the book of Revelation. When you are scared every time, you will go to hellfire. It doesn't matter whether you believe or not. Because you are actually telling God that he is not capable of saving you. Surrender everything and cross over to the Canaan land where it flows with milk and honey. The place of joy, the kingdom, place of peace. Be like the monk. Before I became a monk, I was going through all these things of life, scared everywhere, worried. My head wanna burst because of the things of life. You know, but when the Spirit activated, all those things died away. They died a natural death. Because for one to happen, the other must die. You cannot serve two masters at a time. One will go down, the other will continue. So, I love you, and I hope this makes sense to you as you cross over to the new year. And mind you, crossing over is not a thing that you do once in a while. You can cross over anytime. Any day you decide, you can wake up and cross over. You can say, man, I'm tired of how things are going on in life. I don't want to go through all this anymore. Father, I surrender all to you. People sing in the church, I surrender all to you. But they don't surrender. It's not about singing, it's about their heart. That's why Jesus said, time is coming when those who worship me in truth and in spirit, not on the mountains, not on Jerusalem or anywhere. It's in their heart. Surrender all. Then you cross over. He takes care of you. He knows what you need. He knows everything you need. All you need to do is, Father, I can't do it on my own. Surrender. Touch. Just arise and touch the Master. Touch the Master, everything will be alright. The pain is gone. He will stop the storm and just say, peace, be still. Love you. Wish you a beautiful celebration.